Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Lady Laura Awesome Channel. I'm here this moment just to say hello to each and every one of you. It's been a while and then I decided to come back today again. Moving forward, just want to appreciate each and every one of you who has stood by me until this moment. I do not have much to add, but all I can say is that I have a wonderful topic today, and that topic is no other one than validation. Why you need to stop seeking validation and start thriving. This is a topic that is so much dear to me. Today it just came upon me that I should make a video about it to let you know what validation can cause for you, how you can really move away from being seeking validation from people to live, the effects of seeking validation from people. First of all, we'll start by defining what validation means. Validation means, it says, it's a desire that wants, gets approval from people from whatever they want to do in life, either human or natural or social creatures. You want to get approval from people before you can live your life. You want approval from people that are around you before you can move ahead with your life. I decided to choose this topic because I've seen within the African community, our families, our homes, and the things we do around us, we also seek validation before we can do so many things. And this has really created kind of negative impact to our lives somehow. So you may think that seeking validation is absolutely normal, but I can tell you that it's not really that way. A simple example is maybe you want to make a trip to somewhere, or maybe your uncle took a trip to somewhere and then came back. You decided also to take your own trip, and you felt that it's something that would be good for your mental health, to leave your environment a little bit, to stay off for some time. And then you find out that everyone is not giving you that approval, and you tend to seek approval from family members before you can make such a trip. Somehow inside of you is already derailing you, is already bringing you down. You're not happy within yourself that you cannot just make that trip, even though you're the one providing for yourself for the journey. So that's a typical example of getting validation. There are so many other examples, but this is just little of it, and what that can cost your mental health. If you have planned for your journey and all of a sudden you are asked not to go, maybe because it's very expensive, or maybe because they didn't find it so important or necessary for you to make that journey. So that's what validation can cause for you, because at the end of the day, you find out that you are really undergoing depression, anxiety within you. So what I'm trying to say is that when all these things are happening, you have to ask yourself, why is it that one can go on to seek validation, or seek validation from people around? Seeking validation from family members, seeking validation from friends and people around you before you can do certain things, and which inside of you, your brain has been programmed in that aspect. So let me tell you that one of the things that could cause this kind of attitude or this kind of behavior, or that can really come up in one's life, when there is a kind of power of outside influence. What I mean by this is that if you are able to really know who you are, coming to the extent of knowing yourself, what you can do for yourself. What I mean by that in terms of self-esteem, which, places you in a better position. It makes us to be better in the world. If you can actually see yourself in that aspect, your self-esteem is very high. And then again, you have looked at this word that is called self-actualization, meaning that on your own, you have the ability to realize your fullest potential and develop your own skills and talent to serve that potentiality. So it is important that if you can actually have that power of outside influence, which number one is self-esteem, self-actualization, that you can really do so many things on your own without anybody. You have positioned your mind, your sense of belonging, that you are this kind of person that can really stand out for yourself. You're fully confident about what you can do, your potentials. You have already known the things you can do, the kind of skills that you have inside of you, and you've already developed them. If you have all of these things within you, I assure you that there's no way this stuff of seeking validation from people will come into yourself, into your being. So when you were able to position yourself very well, knowing too well, knowing yourself, knowing that you're really fueled up with your self-esteem, or you have already psychologically have your self-actualization, trying to know or knowing your potentials in life. So this will really place you in the right direction where you don't really need people to seek validation from people. Already you've known your worth, already you've known what you can do for yourself, already you've known your capacity, your capabilities. So you don't really need to seek validation from people. And especially already you've known that you've really gotten or realized your full potentials. First of all, you start knowing that you can provide for yourself. I mean, things like your food, your shelter, your safety, you are accountable for these things. You're already on the right direction of not even seeking validation from anyone. You've already positioned yourself that you stand out for yourself and you can do so many things for yourself. So another one again is, sometimes we know that you can actually seek for advices. You can seek for advice from people. Seeking for advice from people doesn't mean that you're seeking for validation. It is their opinion. You just want to seek for advice. You just want to get their opinion. Of which you do not base your living, or you do not live your life based on their advices. You just get them, and then at the end of the day, you make use of it. Out of it, you can pick one or two things that suits you, and then you move on with it. So if you're able to really work out yourself, have this power of outside influence in you, there's no way you'll be cut out, or there's no way you go on to seek validation from people before you can do things. And again, there are things or the effects of seeking validation, what it can cause for you. If you're the type of person that keep on seeking advices, anything you want to do in life, you want to ask questions, you want to read a book, or you want to buy a book, you must call someone to ask if this is good or if it's bad. Already your brain, your mindset is being programmed in that form. There's nothing you can do on your own. You must seek for advice. You must ask someone. You must, want to get the opinion of the world before you can move on. One of the effects of doing this is that at long run, it will cause you anxiety and depression, especially when you decided to do something on your own and you felt it is the right thing you're doing. It will bounce back to you, that you go back to your inner chamber and start thinking over it. This thing that I've done, is it the rightful thing? This thing that I'm doing, is it the better way to go about it? Already you've started getting depressed because you have made your mind towards that way of seeking validation from people. But if you're able to really conquer this aspect, that you don't really need to get approval from people before you can do certain things for yourself, one way you've already overcome anxiety and depression. Because at the end of the day, you'll be responsible for your own behavior. You'll be responsible for your own attitude. You'll be responsible for so many things. You have yourself to blame, because at the end of the day, you are the one that makes that choice. You're already away from anxiety and depression. The power to make decisions on your own. These are areas that, if you're able to conquer it, you've already removed so many stress, unnecessary stress to your life. So another again that people often do not look into is that kind of receiving advices, in one way or the other. You want to get advices from people. You want to always live your life listening to what people will say, or trying to ask questions that are irrelevant to your life, to your future, maybe to your living. Everything about you is revolved asking people, trying to get validation from people. Honestly speaking, you're not moving ahead. If you want to live like that, you will never move ahead. It is right time or high time for you to step up a little bit on your own, to make decisions on your own, to take responsibility of your actions, and know at the end of the day, whatever that happens, you'll be accountable for it, and you don't have to blame anyone for that. And again, when you want to seek validation, it disconnects you from listening to your own intuition. Because sometimes your self-instinct, your instinct tells you certain things that will be beneficial to you. But because you want to seek validation from people, you kind of disconnect. You kind of miss those your instincts that would have directed you very well. And then you start failing. It is also important for you to, you can ask for help and a fresh perspective or something, but that does not mean that you want to live on those stuffs. It is always good for people to give you their opinion about certain things. It helps you also to broaden your mind. It helps you to expand your horizon. It helps you to, think better and think faster. But when you just want to depend on what people tells you, it makes you a way to go away from your own instinct. When you have a lot that you're being blessed with. So, but when you want to listen to your intuitions, when you want to listen to your instincts, you're already practicing deep trust, and that deep trust within you will take you to a very far place. So I think with these few words of mine about seeking validation from people, I think it will help you to get a very long way to shaping your lifestyle, realizing your full potentials, and taking up from that angle and moving forward to a better lifestyle. And then you have less stress of people talking you down. You have less stress of people trying to direct your lifestyle. You have less stress of people trying to wangle into your affairs. Okay? Again, to add up to what I've just said, the last point that I made was that, or the effects of seeking validation, what it can cause to you, how it will subject you to disconnect from your useful lifestyle, how it will disconnect you from listening to your own self. Another way you can kick it out and then move on and thrive is by self-meditation, self-actualization, and then if you have all of this stuff, self-esteem, when you feed your potential, feed yourself very properly, you wouldn't have opportunity to start asking people questions. You meditate deeply within yourself. You develop your intuition and trusting your own self. You have to really develop it. Moving forward, all the strikes from here and there, left and right, will never get you, because you've already filled yourself with your self-esteem. You've already filled yourself with your values, your self-worth. This will really help you, shape you a long way to really kicking out validation game and thrive much better into your life. I'm not saying that when people, tell you things like appreciating you, appreciating your lifestyle, or tell you one thing or the other, appreciate them as well. When they give you good words, appreciate them, kind words, accept it, all compliments, and then recognize all their words. You have to recognize them. That does not mean that you just have to make use of it. When you go back to your inner chamber, you have to select the ones that are much needful and much important, much connected to you. And that way, you'll be able to stand out and thrive in your future life and then your life endeavors. That's it. And then final thought from my point of view, validation can really change so many things in your life. Validation can really cause you pains. It can cause you stress. It can cause you depression. Validation can make you the better decisions that you have for yourself. It will be thrown into the dust. This is what validation can cause for you. As long as you're able to provide the basic needs of life, which are surviving, food, shelter, the necessary things that you need in life, if you're able to provide them for yourself, I think you're good to go. There's no way you will not have a sense of belonging within your community. Validation is a mindset. You have to change it. If you're able to change that validation, seeking validation from people, you will really move very far. That's the final thought I want to give to each and every one of you. So that's just little that I have to give out to my people this evening. I want to thank and appreciate each and every one of you who has stood by me for a very long time until this moment. And even though I don't really have much time to come in on social media or my YouTube channel, but I will try to be giving important points, important gist that will help our lives, that will shape our future and make us to move in the right direction. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you until this moment. Thank you for being with me. The only thing I request from you guys is just help me to share this live video, help me to comment, share, and then subscribe to my channel. Above all, I love you all, and take care of yourselves, and bye. Bye.